Well, today what I got for you. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't break it. Well, good morning. This is a beautiful sunny morning today. Look at that. I bought some new exhaust for my bike, and the exhaust that I got is exhaust from SuperTrapp, which are called the Fatshots. And what I'm trying to accomplish with those particular slip-ons is to kind of tone down the exhaust a little bit. Right now, I'm just running stock headers with the catalytic still intact, and then I'm running the Bassani DNTs. Now, the Bassani DNTs, I mean, they're open pretty much all the way through. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. It is a little bit louder than I want. I want it loud sometimes, and then sometimes I want it quiet, like on the really long road trips, to kind of tone it down some so you don't get that rider fatigue from really loud exhaust. And then the other reason is my pup pen trailer that I take my dogs in. I don't want it blaring loud on them either. This particular exhaust has tunable disc. Let me go ahead and pull the pipes out of the box. These SuperTrapp Fatshots are really nice looking pipes. The chrome finish is excellent on it. And I know my bike is black, pipes are chrome. If these provide a satisfactory result for me, I'm going to go ahead and give them the blacked out treatment. They do have a 3.5 inch diameter right up here, and it does flare out to 4-inch slash cut, okay? So they're not all one size. Now check out the inside of it, and you'll see it has that core in there all the way through. Now that is a pillow packed core, and both of them have it. Now one is smaller than the other, so I'd imagine you can probably swap those out depending. If you want to tone down the sound a little bit, so that gives you a little bit more flexibility. Now here's the thing that they claim on these particular pipes is that this has their legendary tunable disc. Yeah, this is what that disc looks like. Okay. That's the shape. Alright. Now if you'll notice, it's kind of hard to tell, but exhaust will escape through those discs. They go at the end of the pipe just like that. And you can stack up to 12 per side. And then you have your closed end cap that will go on top. So that essentially lets you tune your exhaust for sound. They claim that by running 12 discs with the closed end cap, you have about a 12% horsepower gain and a 15%, give or take, don't quote me exactly on it, but about a 15% torque gain just based on doing that. If you'll remember, I put in the 475C cams into my bike, and I run the Bassani DNTs, which are the deep and throaties, and prior to installing that cam, they were deep and throaty. Sounded real good, they weren't too loud, but since I put in that cam, they went from deep and throaty to being more loud and raspy. And while it sounds awesome, and it sounds mean, I mean that bike sounds mean, I need to tone it down, but I want it convertible, okay? So that's why I kind of went with this exhaust, because I have the ability to either swap out the cores of each one, okay? And then I also have the flexibility of adding these discs. Now the nice thing is when I don't want it quiet, and I want it loud and I want to show off and make my bike sound mean, here's what I could do. Take those screws out, pull off that end cap. Now we got an open pipe. At least that's the idea. With that said, let me go ahead and start off with the sound clips on my setup right now. And just so you know, so that we actually get some legit readings, I am going to use a sound level meter. Now I know it's not going to be the most accurate, But what I'm looking for and what I want to show you is whatever the decibel level reading is that comes out of the bike at startup when I pull away, and then we go right around a little bit too. I just want you to compare that to when I put the SuperTrapps on, so that way you can kind of see the difference between the two. So let's get on it. So the first measurement that I'm going to do is going to be at 10 feet from the bike, and I'm going to stick to 10 feet the whole time. That way we got an accurate measurement every time. I also have my phone recording on the sound level meter. And a little audio from my helmet. Alright, let's go put some SuperTrapp Fatshots on and let's see what that sounds like. Alright, so we just installed the SuperTrapps and they are crazy chrome. Like, wow. I haven't had that much chrome on a motorcycle in a long time. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go 10 feet back. I'm going to set the decibel reader on my cell phone, and then we'll go from there and let's see how they sound. By the way, those are just going to be the open pipes. I haven't put in the little disc in yet, so we're just going to test it out there and just see how it sounds and see if there's any difference. They're a lot deeper than the Bassanis, and they are a lot quieter. Looking at the decibel reader, it's like at already only 82 decibels, so that's nice. I like that. I'm gonna rev it up a little bit to see how it sounds. So far so good. That's open and I haven't even put in the disc yet, so that's a pretty good deep note. I like that. It's a lot quieter, not as raspy, nice and deep. I like it. Sounds good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the closed end cap. This finishes it off. and we're going to put 6 discs per side because that's what they say is a good number to go with. But so far it sounds very promising. But you see how they go? And you get them all in there. It's kind of a cool looking end cap, if you ask me. But let's get them in. Now, just make sure we get them threaded in right. Let's hurry this process up. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't break it. Yeah, I sure did. Well, let me deal with that, and then we'll come back to this later. Unfortunately, I broke a bolt in one of these holes right here. Let me get this out, and then we'll talk about what's going on. Finally got these things all settled up, and man, what a pain in the butt. I had a lot of trouble. I broke the bolt off into threads. I went to try to extract it, and that wasn't working. I decided that maybe I can pull the baffle out the core and spin it from the inside. I saw the thread, or I saw the bolt, grabbed a vice grip, broke it off. So basically I had to drill it out, put a helicoil, and go through all that. So now let's move on with getting the sound clips and the decibel readings so you can see what the difference is between the SuperTrapp and the Bassani, okay? From inside of my helmet again, but now with the SuperTrapp Fatshots and a little audio from my helmet. The SuperTrapp Fatshots. It's actually really quiet. I can hear myself talking. So to recap really quick before I pick up the pup pin, SuperTrapp claims that somewhere in the mid-teens percentage of horsepower increase and torque increase. Bike still feels just as great as it was with the Bassanis. If anything, maybe just slight more torquey, but I don't know that it's enough for me to tell, you know. But that's a moot point to me because I already got the power. What I was looking to do is turn the note down, you know, of how loud it is. I mean, it actually sounds totally different. It sounds like such a tame bike. I'm gonna go pick up the pup pen, but at idle it was like at 72 decibels, 73 decibels. That's huge compared to what it was before. I'm really curious what it's going to be once I pick up the trailer and see what it sounds like. I'm hoping for it to be, you know, below 90, which I think is what it was with the Bassani before the cam. So let me go ahead and hook up the trailer, set up the camera and the decibel meter, and then let's see what it says. Alright, so just did the last sound test, and that's with my pup pen trailer hooked up to the back, and obviously my dogs will be in the back. So it looks like it passed with flying colors. I was averaging about, I guess, anywhere from like 83 to 87 decibels, which is really good, which is exactly what I was looking for. It's not the greatest sound coming out of a motorcycle, especially when you have cams, but it's convertible, and that's what I really like. But I'll just remove the closed end cap and let it flow freely, and that, you know, I'm sure that's going to sound way better like it should. But when I'm running, you know, just by myself, you know, to and from work or riding with the guys, I'll run it with the open cap. But when I hook up the trailer to bring the pups with me, that's where I really want it to work, is by putting that closed end cap and redirecting the air into the disc, into those slotted disc, so that it does tone it down. Now at idle, it really is quieter than stock, And I'm talking about stock cams and stock pipes. So that's pretty impressive. That SuperTrapp claims that you can tone it down. It definitely passed the test with a S&S 475C cam. Okay. Now, as far as the torque and the horsepower gain, I'm sure if you put it on a dyno, those give you numbers all day long, and that'll be perfect, right? But for what I wanted it for its intended purpose to bring down the sound, it has most definitely accomplished that. But until next time, deuces. Reason I'm talking right now, I just want to know how well this sounds with the audio in my helmet. Maybe more suited for motovlogging. Anyways, it was a long day, but I'll shut up now.